Yeah, so another one of these is by the guys at Flytrap Factory from the guys over in New Zealand. And this is for In the Court of the Goblin King. And this is a campaign that has just over a week left on it so far. And it's for a range of miniatures inspired by Scandinavian Nordic folklore. They've created a whole bunch of amazing miniatures that are so full of character. And I know I say that quite a lot, but these ones really are. They're all looking absolutely fantastic. They started off with a diorama that was all based around the idea of just the Goblin King himself and some of his servants. But as they've sort of developed this Kickstarter and unlocked more stretch goals as they've gone forward, they've expanded this to include a lot more Goblin warriors. They've got some really fascinating looking knights in there as well, which are based on sort of strange, weird folklore. They've got some massive trolls and stuff that they're working to in terms of stretch goals right now. They've developed a set of witches, some assassins, a kobold emissary, and all kinds of things like that. For anyone who likes the style of these miniatures, it's very much in sort of like keeping with the sort of Bonner style, the Paul Bonner style of art, which I think is really, really good. Yeah. And I think it's going to be drawing a lot of people in. A lot of people who like their Lord of the Rings and their Middle Earth, and more specifically, their sort of like the book-based idea of a lot of the characters in that and a lot of the monsters. This kind of takes you in that direction as well. So it draws on that sort of Nordic mythology there, which I think is really cool. And yeah, as I say, some absolutely fantastic looking miniatures, full of character, full of detail, and yeah, hopefully a lot of people are going to be picking these up and using them, not necessarily just as hobby projects, but also in skirmish games as well, because there's a lot of them out there right now.
Age of Magic.
Age of Magic, Warfare 1, that kind of thing. Sergeant Blunder
totally.
as well, so yeah.
There's a serious amount of goblin splaining going on here.
There is a little bit.
Like this guy's got attitude.
Gob spreading, yeah.
Gob spreading. This guy's got attitude.
And this was the thing, whenever I seen the Court of the Goblin King and I seen that pose, I immediately thought of one man. The god, not at all a Primarch himself from the old Warhammer world,
right?
Sigmar, because this was the inside front cover for, I think, 6th edition fantasy.
Oh, hello.
Now, if we have a look at Sigmar here, who's got his tiny little goblin jester at the end of a chain with a rat on a stick, and then we have a look back at the Court of the Goblin King. There's a lot going on there. I like to think that they've looked at that and went, you know what, Sigmar, you may have decided that you were going to have one of us as a jester, but we're just going to use your whole pose. I'm just going to go full goblin on you.
Goblin. Yeah. They gobbled everything they could get.
Everything they could, yeah.
Yeah.
Gobbled away.
So, gents, excited about the goblins?
I love them.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a big fan of any of that more traditional style of sculpting. I think an awful lot of CAD design stuff can start to look very soulless after a while. It all just looks too mass manufactured, too bland. Whereas the traditional green sculpts, I think, just always have a sort of unique, even little flaws in the sculpt just make them look more realistic.
How many miniatures are they currently unlocked? Are they unlocking more miniatures, more sculpts? What's the crack there? Because you're looking at, and you did say a warband, and I was sitting thinking, ooh, that is cool, but how many miniatures have they unlocked? Because I would be sitting thinking, if they don't unlock enough miniatures for a full warband, are you going to take doubles of these? Or is there another range out there that would sit very well with these? And if you know it, post it in the comments.
I think there's a range, and I believe it's by Nightmare models or Nightmare miniatures. Maybe someone will correct me in the comments, but they are very similar to these in style. They have that kind of old hammery look to them, which I think these ones do as well. So you could kind of bring those together to sort of develop it a little bit more. But I think there's about a handful of goblins included in this. You've obviously got the Goblin King, and they are working towards, as I say, like the big trolls and the giants and stuff as well. So if you want to go sort of get to that stage, get involved with this, start funding, maybe you get your hands on some of those as well, which are pretty cool. So,
there's about 14 individual goblin sculpts at the moment, and then 3 emissaries, nobody wants lizard emissaries.
Yeah.
Kobolds are dog-faced dicks, so yeah.
So, if you were going to skirmish it, you need about twice as many. Yeah. So you need to find a range to mix in with it.
To bring it up to speed, yeah.
Sometimes you get a model range, it just looks like epic, but you can't fit anything with it.
Yeah, it's just such a unique style.
I was looking at doing, maybe there's more of it now. I was looking at doing the dwarves from Frostgrave.
All right, the Oathmark ones.
The Oathmark plastics. Yeah.
Yes, but they look almost a bit like
they look like traditional German dwarves. They've got the very sort of German pointed hats and helmets.
You'll be interested to know on that front.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if you're interested in looking at those and thinking about the fact that there's not potentially other stuff that fits with them, they are now doing a heavy infantry set of dwarves as well, which was teased this week. So
There's my Hearth Guard!
So they are developing and building on this to create a larger set of plastics, which is pretty cool. So.
Whereas
yes.
I've been looking at Conqueror models who've done
Conqueror models
who've done a Viking / Saxon bunch of dwarves, so they've all got that armor, so they look like they just stepped off a saga table, except they're dwarves. They've got crossbows, bows, great weapons, spears.
All right, I might have to pivot on this.
Yeah.
This might sway me. Those two things are exciting.
They are.